Well, this spring, you can set sail at the Great Lakes Science Center with a series of fun boat and water-themed activities for all ages. You can bring the whole family. They're going to celebrate the grand opening of the Titanic, the artifact exhibition later this week. And Matt joins me in studio for more. He doesn't get tongue-tied like I just did. So, Matt, this sounds great.
Oh, but I do, and it's science, and I get tongue-tied over how exciting it gets. Yeah, thanks, Sunita. I love having them on. They bring such fun experiments, and they will not disappoint today. Now, we're joined now by Abigail and Kelly from the Science Center. Thanks for joining us, first of all, and getting up with us this morning. We're about to talk a couple things like the Titanic exhibit. Let's talk about that first. Big deal having the Titanic exhibit coming to Cleveland. What can people expect there?
Yeah, absolutely. So this Thursday, May 21st, Titanic, the Artifact Exhibition is opening up. Over 200 real artifacts from the wreck site, some even special to Cleveland, so it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's really awesome. What can people expect when they go through? How long does it take to walk through the exhibit and look at everything?
Up to 45 minutes. Yeah. It's so immersive, walking through the hallways as if you're first class, third class, really getting into the stories of the passengers of all types. Yeah,
we've done it. I took the kids to do it down at in Pittsburgh at Carnegie. They had it last year. My son is a huge Titanic fan. Kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time. And it's really interesting because you do immerse yourself in it, right?
Absolutely.
Is there anything different about the Cleveland exhibit versus the one that's been traveling around the country?
So we do have some unique artifacts that haven't necessarily been to all of them. We also are a debut site for the U.S. for our virtual reality edition and the Dome Theater Voices of Titanic edition.
Oh, that's so cool. How about pricing? What's pricing look like?
So it's a couple different prices. I recommend going to greatscience.com because there's some really cool packages that you can combine with Science Center tickets or with those add-ons.
Awesome. All right. So we talk about that. What exclusive pieces in the Titanic exhibit are they going to see here in Cleveland?
So there's even a postcard from Cleveland that found its way onto the Titanic and on the ocean floor that's been recovered.
That's just crazy. It's just, it blows my mind that they have this stuff and it's still preserved, which is neat.
It really is, and that's also part of it, really learning about all of the things that go into recovery and preservation.
Right, right. Is Leonardo DiCaprio going to make a
Maybe
appearance?
so.
Okay, all right. My wife was asking. All right, so this weekend, we're also celebrating the 101st birthday of the steamship Mather. What does that include, and what's that all about?
It is our Great Lakes Adventure Weekend, Memorial Day weekend. It's everything boats. The steamship Mather will be open. We'll have some really fun live science shows called Wacky Water, and then we'll even have some family workshops where you can build a sailboat.
Awesome. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's dive into the experiments. What do you guys have for us here today?
All right, so we have two jars right here that have some water in them that we dyed so we could tell them apart. So I have my thermometer here, and you can keep me honest. This is about 105 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's hot water in that yellow one.
Pretty warm. And then in the green one, about 63 degrees Fahrenheit.
Like our pool right now. That's great.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this piece of plastic on top of the jar.
Okay.
I'm going to flip it over.
Oh, jeez, careful.
And what I'm going to do, there we go, is I'm going to remove this piece of plastic. What do you think is going to happen when I remove this piece of plastic?
Well, this is a weather experiment. So we've got hot water on top, cold on the bottom. So cold air is heavy and dense. Warm air rises. So I'm going to imagine it stays just like that.
I'm thinking
you think
you're
it
right.
would mix, right? Most people think it's mixed.
And you're right. It's staying right where you thought it would. So
that's crazy awesome, right?
It is really awesome. So I'm going to...
Oh, my goodness. You were so gutsy.
I do this a lot.
Yeah, so you're a pro.
What I'm going to do now is we're going to flip it. So I'm going to put the cold water. And what do you think is going to happen this time?
Well, cold water and cold air is heavy and dense, so it sinks. And so now it's probably going to mix, right?
I think you're right. Let's find out.
Expert here.
There you go.
And you are 100% right.
Science.
And now we have my favorite color green right here.
And this
that is a beautiful color
green. Wacky Water show for Memorial Day weekend, so you can see this live at the Science Center.
This is great. This is a sign. I mean, this is true with weather too, right? The warm air rises, it doesn't mix, right, when it's on top, and so when you have cold air like we have with this cold front coming in, it's going to mix things up and get kind of messy around here. So really cool. All right, quickly tell us what else do you guys have planned for the summer? A lot of parents, they want to entertain the kids. What can they do? What do you guys have offering the rest of the summer?
There's always something new at the Science Center. We have daily live science shows. We also have that that steamship 618 feet long. That's open all
Jeez.
summer
Yeah.
for self-guided tours, even guided tours as well.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And where can people get more information?
Greatscience.com.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Science Center, always a blast when they come in, always a blast when you go there as well. If you've not been there with the kids, make sure you take them coming up this summer. Danita.
I love what they just did. That was so cool. And Matt, bringing your knowledge also.
Yeah, it's science.
You
I'll tell you,
were-
we're all a bunch of nerds up here. It's just, I'm with my people, Danita.
You're with your people.
yeah.
It's your people.